Imagine you are a chef, crafting a special menu for an event. You have got two lists of ingredients, one from a local farm and another from an exotic importer. You want to create a unique selection that includes items from both lists without any repeats. Just like how you would merge these lists, in the programming world, we use LINQ methods like union and UnionBy to combine collections. For instance, the union of these two collections is the following collection, containing all unique elements from both. In this video, we are going to explore union and UnionBy methods in LINQ. Let's begin with the union method, the tool for finding all unique elements from two collections. Think of it as making a master list of ingredients from our two suppliers, with no duplicates. It comes equipped with two overloads. The first overload operates simply. We take both sequences, and without any additional expression or comparer, we apply the default comparer. Let's see how this works in action. Consider two arrays of numbers. By using this query with the first overload of union method, we get the following array, which contains all distinct numbers from both arrays. This is how to use the first overload with simple data type. Let's explore another example using a complex type, let's say, a data table. Suppose we have two tables with identical structures, and some rows overlap. Here's the query to find the union of both tables. The result will be the following table, which contains all rows from both tables. As you can see, we have duplicate rows in the result, which isn't what we want. When working with complex types like data table rows, the default comparer may fall short. To get a true union, we have to employ a specific comparer, data row comparer. Here's where the second overload of union method comes into play. This overload has the following structure. It's like the first overload, but with an addition of a comparer. So, the query to find the union using the second overload will be as following. The data row comparer can compare the rows. In this case, we will get the following table as result, where we don't have duplicates anymore. This means, using the first overload we couldn't compare the rows in a correct way, and we got all rows from both tables. But using the second overload with a comparer, we could compare the rows, therefore we got only the unique rows. This is also how to use the second overload of union method. In summary, both overloads of union method work in the same way like the overloads of accept and intersect methods, what we have learned in the previous videos. The only difference between these three methods is the function of the method. Accept finds the difference, intersect finds the intersection, and union finds the combined unique set. That's all about union method. Now, let's turn our attention to UnionBy method. This method provides the set union of two sequences based on a specified key selector function. It's ideal for when you need to focus on a specific property within complex data types, not the entire object. For example, to find the union of two tables based on the content of one column, UnionBy is the method of choice. This method also comes with two overloads. The first overload has the following structure. We have both sequences and an expression. This lambda expression is to define the property we need. To understand it better, let's consider the following example about data tables. We have the same two tables again and we want to calculate the union, but this time based on the product ID only, not based on the whole row like in the previous example. This means, the content of the other columns is not important anymore, only the content of the column product ID in both tables. Here's the query to achieve that. The first sequence will be the first table with as enumerable method, to convert the table to enumerable row collection of data row. The second sequence will be the same but using the second table. So, we have two collections of the same type. This is also the difference between UnionBy and AcceptBy and IntersectBy methods. AcceptBy and IntersectBy accept two sequences of the same type, or also of different types. But UnionBy only accepts two sequences of the same type, because we use it to combine both sequences together. So, we cannot combine two sequences of two different types. The next part is the lambda expression, where we define the key to compare both tables. Here we are using the product ID column. This means, only the column product ID is matter. Based on this column we can identify if the rows from both tables are similar or not. At the end we use the copy to DataTable method to get the output as DataTable. The result of this query will be the following table, where we have the combined unique rows based on the column product ID. This is how does the first overload of UnionBy work. So, keep in mind, union and UnionBy methods only accept two sequences of the same type, while the previous set methods, exceptBy and intersectBy, accept two sequences of different types, or also of the same type. Let's now move on to the second overload, which incorporates a comparer. Let's take the same example about the data tables to understand it better. Suppose we again have the same two tables, but now the content of the product ID column is written in lower or uppercase. Our goal is to unify these tables by product ID without serving up any duplicate entries, regardless of case. Here's the query to do that. The query is exact the same like the previous one using the first overload. We only added the string comparer to ignore case. The result of this query will be the following table, which contains the unique rows from both tables. This is also how to use the second overload of UnionBy method. In essence, the second overload of UnionBy lets us merge sequences by a key property, utilizing a comparer to fine-tune our selection criteria. That's all about UnionBy method. Before ending this video, let's summarize the most important points. The union method in LINQ serves to amalgamate two sequences of the same type, creating a set that includes all distinct elements from both. Its first overload relies on the default equality comparer, suitable for simple types or when a straightforward comparison is sufficient. The second overload incorporates a custom comparer, such as data row comparer, to handle complex types where a nuanced approach to equality is required, considering the entire data row or object. UnionBy, on the other hand, offers a more targeted approach, allowing the union of two sequences based on a single, specified property. This is particularly useful when sequences contain complex types, but only one attribute is relevant for comparison. The first overload of UnionBy works with a key selector function, while the second accommodates an additional comparer, like string comparer.ordinal ignore case, enabling case-insensitive comparisons. So, with Union, we weave together collections for scenarios requiring a comprehensive comparison, while UnionBy hones in on singular properties to define uniqueness, both ensuring that our final ensemble of elements is just as curated and distinct as the ingredients on a chef's carefully planned menu.